Welcome, everyone, to Beaver Stadium, nestled in Bucolic State College and home of the Penn State Nittany Lions, and one of the loudest, most passionate crowds you'll find anywhere in college football. We're really looking forward to this matchup. You've got a team that's made its way into the top 25, now trying to pass an all-important road test. As we'll see the number 21 team in the country, the Florida State Seminoles, taking on a team recharged after a much-needed bye week, the Penn State Nittany Lions. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. The Seminoles will boot it away to start the game. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. So the Penn State Nittany Lions offense is on the field for the first time today. And here he comes, just jogging onto the field, but what's going fast, the heart rates of everybody in this crowd, Jesse.
Well, this is a special player. All eyes in the stadium on this guy. And David, you know the defense, they're going to have to find a way to try to slow this guy.
And he's going to touch it every single play. He'll be the main focal point. Can he handle the pressure? Can he handle the big moments? Can he handle this stage and lead his team in a big moment?
Surges across the 30, out to the 32, a 6-yard run. The Nittany Lions want to pick up the tempo. They'll try to get it through the air. Escapes from, but he can't get away again, and down he goes, and the trickeration is not so tricky.
Man, you talk all week about setting the tone, quieting this crowd. Don't let him get involved. You know how you do that? Get a sack and force a punt on the first possession of the football game. That's a heck of a start for this defense.
Makes a move. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. The Seminoles offense will try to get something going with their first possession. As dynamic as this guy is on the outside, Jesse, you know he's going to be peeking that way from the free safety position.
Yeah, he's been watching the film. This dude in the middle, man, he can light people up. So you can't tiptoe. You got to be aggressive and run in there. But this is a pretty interesting matchup today.
And I love safeties that make receivers think. Make them know they're going to be there over the middle of the field, and you better think twice about catching that football.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Trying to get the edge with a quick touch pass. And he's running in the open. Past the 20. Touchdown, no! And once he found some daylight, it was time to make a house call.
And what a nice start for this offense. The throw game getting working, getting the touchdown pass. This quarterback getting a little bit of confidence. This passing game getting in a rhythm. Nice start for this offense.
And the extra point makes it 7-0.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. The kickoff team on the field, he ought to just boom this thing through the end zone with that extra 15 yards on the penalty. Not going to give him a chance to make a play as they boot that thing through the end zone. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
And a big key on that throw to the slot receiver, guys, is putting the ball out in front. The location of the throw is what helped.
And the ball is picked off. Taking it the other way. And he's going to run it all the way back. Touchdown, Florida State. What a play by this defense with the pick six.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to do. Breaks on the football, makes the interception, Everybody on defense, we turn to offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
Lining up to add another. And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. They're lining up to kick it off after the pick six, and that defense will come out feeling it. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. This conference has a history of getting wacky, and the last thing you need to do is get off to a slow start in ACC play.
And what does everybody talk about every year, right? Like conference games, how much they matter, the familiarity with everybody around you. You can only start this one time, so let's bring that energy, bring that momentum. Who wants to start the season off right?
Well, the ACC is a conference that feels like oftentimes it just goes down to the wire. And those games late in the season are the ones that really determine what happens. But you got to set yourself up for success, and it starts right here in the first conference game in the ACC for your team.
You want to make sure to maximize those types of runs, and he gets it out to the 41. Off the play fake. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
We're already in the first quarter, but already you get the feeling this could be a long day for this QB. He's already been sacked. He gets hit right there on the incomplete throw. They've got to find a way to do a better job up front of protecting this guy, or it's going to be difficult to put up points.
Shotgun snap on third down. And that pass is intercepted. Trying to take it back. He's at the 20. And he has taken it all the way back. Touchdown Seminoles. These guys are really hitting their stride in week 4 as they push out that lead. The DB saw it. He thought, don't drop it, don't drop it. Then thought, don't get caught, don't get caught. And he didn't. The pick six.
Hey, these guys can play offense too now. Look at this. I showed you I can be a wide receiver. Coach might split him out at wide receiver next week after making that big play. But defense, great job making the interception. And you're right, doing something with it. Don't just slide down. Don't be content. Take that thing all the way back, brother.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. They'll kick it off and send that defense right back out there to try to score again after the pick six. And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? They do happen. So you've got to be able to turn the page here and lead this offense.
Well, I think you know this defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to jump routes. They're going to play aggressive. You've got to take advantage of that. Maybe use that this time to your advantage.
On second down, wants to throw. Finds his big tight end. He's run out of bounds, but not before turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open, because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let him do the rest.
And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49. Reads it, fires complete. They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a first down.
First down and 8.
Looking to move it through the air. He lets it fly. Hits him in stride inside the 10. Slippery slide. Find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Penn State. After the score, we'll see if that breathes a little fire into him.
And you see it all the time, right? You get that score, you get that energy, the crowd gets involved, and the defense got to get out and get you a stop. But this was step one to getting them back in the ballgame.
And after the extra point, they're now down 21-7. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And the score comes on a pass from 40 yards out. And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. Jesse looking to take it down the field for back-to-back touchdowns.
I think it's really important for them moving forward, too, to have a lot of balance, right? You want to be able to keep this defense guessing, Pollock.
Yeah, and you got me searching for answers after that last drive. You stack another drive on top of this, their defense's heads are going to be spinning all over the place.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. The give to the lone running back. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
Great job of contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened.
On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Working the middle. He's going to have enough to pick up the first down as they stop him at the 33-yard line.
This is exactly why 3rd down is practiced every single day. 3rd and short, 3rd and medium, 3rd and long. It's money down for a reason. You got to lock in. Great success by the offense so far on 3rd down.
He wants to throw. He lets one fly deep. And it falls incomplete, and the offense is lucky to have it. Defender right there almost had it in his grasp.
Nice job in coverage there. Offense trying to take a shot downfield. The defender able to tip that one up in the air and force it incomplete.
After the misfire, now on 2nd down. Using his legs, it's Harper.
Hey, 5 to 6 yards a pop. I don't know if you guys are really good at math, but that usually equals a first down every couple carries. So don't forget about the run game. Keep them honest, pound that rock.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. That's caught. It's Pierre. Good tackle there to stop him short of the first down. It'll bring up a big decision. They allowed the completion, but this defense was swarming to keep them away from that first down line.
Yeah, and you allow completions in those 3rd down situations underneath the sticks, and you come up and rally, and everybody flies to the football. That's great execution by this defense.
And he gets enough to move the chains and then slides to a stop.
Nice job by the QB, sitting back in the pocket. You can tell he wants to throw the football, go through his progressions. Nothing home, take off, and slide. I love the slide at the end. Don't take a big shot.
The Noles are marching down the field. Power football with the run. They'll make the stop behind the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. That's the end of the quarter, and Florida State has the lead. Really strong performance so far to be able to build a lead here in the first period as we look at the stats. Second down here as they go back to work after the break. Trying play action. Unloads to the wideout. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. And they are finding some space in this defense. He's got it down to the 25.
Nice catch there. I'll tell you, the Seminole passing attack has come a long way over the years. When I was playing against them back in the day, they were in the I formation every single play. Maybe it was play action. Maybe it was a shot play to the perimeter of the field. Now, they've got guys running all different kinds of routes, playing at different tempos, lining up all over the field. This dude is a guy you just have to know where he is every single snap.
Quick pass on the fly motion. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Really important for a ranked team going into a hostile environment like this one not to give the underdog reason to believe.
Yes, reason to believe, and don't give the fans reason to get jacked up and excited. Come out early, be in a business mode mindset.
You got to start fast. You got to have a sense of urgency. You cannot come sleepwalking into an environment like this, because if you do and you make some mistakes, this crowd will pounce on you and seize momentum.
This crowd knows they have to bring it in big moments, and one of those has arrived. Quarterback now breaking the field. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it 1st and goal. On the doorstep of cashing it in for the offense. They're trying to slam it in. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Nice job by the defense. 1st and goal situation. You can expect run. A lot of the times they were physical, got in the backfield, stuffed the run.
And maybe they want to try somewhere else because there is nothing doing in the middle of this defense. You can't hear yourself think on 3rd and goal. Slams it ahead. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, no!
And I love the physicality of this offense. It's 3rd and goal. It's money time. I've got to be more physical than you. And that's exactly what this offense just did. Put the ball on the ground and put it in the end zone.
And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And he's coming out of the end zone. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. They're down by 21 points, but you get a touchdown here, and you do at least apply a little game pressure, Jesse.
It's true. I think for them to get back in this one at this point now, they need the quarterback to play his best football. He's going to have to be good really pre-snap, David, making sure they're in the right looks, and he's got to be really good with his decision-making.
He's got to be dialed in because defensively you're giving up points.
And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9.
Well, this offensive coordinator has to be scratching his head because he's trying to keep his quarterback protected. He's trying different things, sliding the offensive line, keeping tight ends and running backs in, chipping, going empty, and getting the ball out quickly, but it's not working. They're just losing the one-on-one battles up front, and in the second half looking forward, I don't know if they're going to be able to fix it.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Complete to the right. And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the 1st down.
The Nittany Lions will hustle to the line.
Brings up 2nd down.
Give to the back. Defense there to stop him after a 2-yard gain to the 31.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. You saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical enough.
They're trying to get to him. Got away from trouble and got rid of it.
And as an offense, you've got such a special talent playing QB. You've got to do a better job protecting him. If you can let this guy set his feet, he can light this defense up.
4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. He'll call for the fair catch here. Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands. That penalty moves the ball back 10 yards. We'll replay the down. The offense set for a 1st down play. Use the play fake. Now to throw. That's caught. It's Harper. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
Nice patience by the quarterback here working against zone coverage. He was allowing his receiver an opportunity to find that open space in the defense before pulling the trigger.
Wide receiver coming across in motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and they will try to build on what has already been a dominant first-half performance. Ball's at the 27. This offense facing a 3rd and long. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. Fast motion from the offense. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And that ball is picked off. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
It's all about making plays, and this guy's been waiting to make his mark on this team. He gets his first interception of the season, and what a momentum-changing play for his team.
The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. They find themselves in a pretty deep hole here, but maybe a chance to grab a little momentum and regroup at halftime.
Yeah, a big chance. Like this is an opportunity. This is the biggest opportunity in front of them in the game right now. You got to get some points on the board. You got to create something positive, Jesse. There hasn't been a whole lot to be positive about in the first half.
If I'm playing quarterback, I'm locating my go-to guy at receiver. Who can I count on one-on-one to go and make me a play? Maybe even one-on-two. Who can go up, catch the ball, get us some yards, and get us some points.
Power ahead. Couple of guys there to get him on the ground. And they'll send 5 wide receivers out, maybe creating some room for the quarterback to run. Now on the move. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Nittany Lions!
Nice job by this offense. Put the scoring drive together. And now, listen, it's not even halftime yet. So keep fighting. Going to halftime, regroup. We found a little something on this drive. See if we can cut into this lead and continue to make this game closer and closer.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. North Texas has the lead right now. The good folks in Denton have been buzzing all week. But this game is hardly over. There is time left on that clock. They're up by 4 over Western Michigan. We'll circle back if anything big happens in this college football matchup.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. They'll go to the ground. after the pickup of 9, it's 2nd and 1.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
They'll go right back to him. And they'll bring him down, but not before he picks up the first down.
You know, you start day one of training camp running your base runs. You need a few yards, you run these plays. You need a first down, you run these plays. You rep them over and over and over again. They're not sexy, they're not pretty, but in the...
And the ball is intercepted. Oh, he was hoping to make something out of that return, but they'll have it first down at the 39.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision.
So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. They'll start this drive with a pass. Finds his tight end. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
Real smart play. Great job. Get the positive yards, and then get your booty out of bounds.
Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Going up top on first down. He's got his man. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. This will likely be the last play of the half. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. And here on second down, they'll send out the field goal unit to try to get 3 before the break. This try will come from the left hash, and he'll try to curl it in from 38. Kick is good. The offense has 3 points to show for the drive.
I know they're trailing going into the locker room here at halftime, but kicking that field goal gives them a little bit of a jolt, a little bit of a boost of momentum that they can carry with them into the second half. And there's a lot of football left to go here. I can't wait to see what happens.
Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Guys, one of the best atmospheres in football, and we've got a fun one from Happy Valley. And there is no better place to start this halftime than by reviewing how this wideout has been a one-man wrecking crew. The kid's been everywhere, and I love how he's willing to go across the middle, but that he also has the jets to burn these DBs on the deep ball. If this defense wants to actually come back in this one, they better hide his cleats.
The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. They got plenty done through the air in the first half, and we'll see if they even need to look for balance as we start the third quarter.
Well, and I think defensively, you understand, like the running game isn't a big part of the plan. I wonder how they adjust and play more coverage to this pass-happy offense.
Yeah, so you're going to have to be ready if you're a quarterback, then. You're probably going to see some different coverages. You might see a little bit more blitz in the second half as well, so you have to know where your answers are.
Quarterback checking the play. Looking to pass on second down. With the catch, it's Morales. Really needed a play like that to get out of their own end. They move the chains. They mark it at the 29.
Oh, that is a rope for the completion in this offense. I'll tell you, think about great Seminole quarterbacks, the 3 W's. Wenke, Winston, Ward. Dudes that could change the game. Heisman Trophy winners. Every defensive coordinator was scared every time they had to play the Seminoles because of that vaunted passing attack. And this guy, I think he has D coordinators seeing ghosts because this guy can play at a high level.
Hit the gas, kid. Wide open ahead. He's at the 10, and he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Florida State.
And this offense is clicking. Another touchdown. Didn't have to go far for this drive, but this offense is doing what they want, how they want, when they want.
On to attempt the try. And the extra point is good, and the score is 35-17. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they finished with a bang, a 71-yard scoring strike. Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. The give to the back. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. And the Nittany Lions come to the line in the hurry-up.
Man, it's been a surprise today for this offense. Like, coming into the game, we all talked about it. We thought they'd be able to run against this defense that's been run on a lot, and this offense just can't get the running game going. It'll be interesting to see what they do to try to change it up, but somehow, some way, they need that physical ground game.
Shotgun snap, wants to throw it on third. Caught over the middle, it's Pena. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. The Nittany Lions come to the line with a new set of downs. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Getting that push, a pickup of 4 out to the 26. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. He's looking to throw. Trying to get rid of it. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
That's another example of just really good football. This is why they've built the lead here in the second half. Nice job pressuring the quarterback, making him feel uncomfortable, coming into somebody else's building and keeping it really, really quiet.
Makes the grab. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting first progression.
They've got a solid drive working, but now looking at 2nd and 11. He's looking to throw. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. And this offense is desperate to keep this drive alive, trailing by multiple possessions, and it's getting late. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming. The Nittany Lions will try to pin them back with the punt. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. On the ground, it's Harper. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
Got stuffed on 1st down. It's 2nd and 10. Wide out in motion. Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. How about that weight room work? He's showing off there as he gets across the 20. They'll mark it at the 22.
Yeah, that's a really good job by the defense reacting to what they see. They see the quarterback flip it forward on the touch pass. Now got to go get it, right? Corral that football. He picked up some yards, yeah, but you didn't give up that big explosive play. And now you have to make him earn it now on the next down.
He'll pull it down. It'll be a first down as he gets it to the 24-yard line.
Well, he does a really nice job buying time, and I love the awareness there, understanding no one's open downfield, knowing where the sticks are, and he's able to use his athleticism to get that first down.
Wide receiver shows motion. Quick pass on the jet motion. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver and different ways they were going to try to get him involved. Everybody on defense on the same page, playing together. I love it.
That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37. And the Seminoles have their offense in high gear. They'll throw it on 1st down. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They've been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
Right back to the air on 2nd and 10. Unloads it downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on 2nd down, but 3rd down's coming up.
That is no fun for that wide receiver, thinking you just ran all the way downfield for that. You're not out here trying to run gassers or get conditioning. You're trying to catch TDs. What's going on?
Pre-snap motion in the backfield. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. He's going to run it. At midfield, he's got room. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a 1st down.
He's got such good awareness in the pocket. He does a good job of feeling the rush, and you know it's a pass, and you want to keep your eyes downfield, but he sees an opening, and if he sees an opening, he's got the ability to go get it and get a 1st down.
They'll leave it with him. Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
And it's just simple. Simple 1st down run, showing your physicality, setting your offense up in a good spot.
Got 3 on 1st down at 2nd and 7. Off play action. Fires to the wideout. Tosses it incomplete. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. Quick touch pass to the receiver. Pass to 30. He's off to the races. And he glides into the end zone easily, but this one might be coming back. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. And the Seminoles will line it up on 1st and 10. Motion from the offense. He's going to pass. Looking down the middle. And he is finding wide-open defenders all over the field. His 3rd interception of the day. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Who says defensive backs don't have hands? Nice job breaking on the football and making the catch. A lot of times you see guys swat it down or you see them trying to catch it. It looks like they have 2 left hands. Defensive backs don't catch real well. Nice job breaking on the football. Nice job securing the INT and actually catching it.
Off the play fake on 1st down. The throw. And they got him. He'll get him down for the sack.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
That's the end of the quarter, and Florida State has the lead. And they are starting to pull away as we come to the end of the 3rd quarter. Let's take a look at how we got here. 2nd down now as they're ready to go back to work. He's looking to throw. Just a short pass to the tight end. Excellent job working through the air. They're finding a hole in that defense and picking up a 1st down.
This defense better not blink. I know they've got a lead here in the 4th quarter, but just look at who they're going against. This quarterback is one of the best in the nation. They cannot rest on their laurels. Someone's going to have to make a play.
They go to the ground. And how about the efficiency on that one? It'll bring up 2nd and 4. The Nittany Lions in the hurry-up. Quarterback wants to throw on 2nd down. Makes his connection. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. Ball spotted right at midfield as they try to convert third and short. It's complete to the right. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
Offside. Defense.
Good job by the QB there, using his cadence, using his clapping, trying to get this defense offside.
The Nittany Lions look to keep this drive humming. He'll come out throwing on first down. He's going to let it go. Throw to the sideline, and it's complete, and they've got a big play. And, Jesse, there's a huge mountain to climb here, but you might as well start with a chunk play.
Well, you got to start somewhere, Reese. It's been tough going for this offense all game long. They find themselves in a hole, but I love the aggressive nature. Keep taking shots. Keep trying to claw your way back into this one.
Gets it out fast. And they're able to force him out of bounds after a short pickup.
A nice job by the defense there, tackling the catch and smothering the tight end. They know this offense is going to try to find him in the passing game in a lot of different situations. That time, perfect coverage, and nice job bringing the big guy down. Not easy to do.
Keeps those legs churning for 3 yards. He's down at the 9. The offense showing motion from the tight end, trying to get a read on the D. Wants to throw on third. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Another hit on the quarterback. All day long, this defense has been able to pin their ears back and get after this guy, and because of that, he's never gotten into a rhythm throwing the football, and that's why they find themselves trailing here late in the fourth quarter.
Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down.
This is a running back, man, that just finds a way to get it done. Critical fourth down. Everyone thinking they're going to throw the football, but they hand it off to him, and he helps keep this drive alive.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Can the defense stop them again on second and goal? He's looking to throw. Flips it out to the back. They'll mark him down at the 2. The excellent execution on that throw and catch.
And just no hesitation there by the quarterback, right? Primary target not open, so find your check down. Where's my running back? Yeah, I know I'm under pressure, and I know I'm going to get hit, but I'm not taking a sack. I'm going to find a way for us to get a few extra yards here.
Snowed under by the defense.
Man, if I'm quarterback right now, after this long of a... It's close. I'm going for a touchdown here, Paul.
And I get that, but I've worn this defense out, man. I'm going to go for the touchdown right here. And if I miss, they got to go the whole length of the field to score a touchdown.
A field goal does not top the list of most helpful things at this juncture, so they'll go for it on fourth down. From the gun. Gets rid of it. He makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Penn State!
This quarter...
And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. And they take another look at the play, but the officials on the field were right, and the play will stand. PAT unit on the field. And with the extra point, they now trail 35-24. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
A lot of eyeballs on your game, guys, and a few on this interesting matchup as well. Old Dominion fell behind early, and it's been an uphill climb since. Thing is, this is a program that's worked the portal about as well as anyone. These kids are tough and could just find a way. They're trailing by 10 to Virginia Tech. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, gentlemen.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. They keep it on the ground. Clock is their friend. And they try the middle of this stout defense, and they rise to the challenge.
I know exactly what I have to do here. Defensively, we've got to get the stop. So we're playing run. We're selling out to run because we're thinking they're going to run the football, and we got 3 timeouts. Let's use them wisely. Let's use those timeouts, save as much clock as we can so our offense has some time on the clock to do some damage when they get the football back.
He's going to be able to pick up a few yards before the slide.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously. You don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you are right now in this drive.
They'll try to move the chains on the ground. Moving deeper into enemy territory. Move the chains. It's first down at the 27.
No mystery on that play. With the lead, we are going to run the ball. You know it's coming, and we are running right at you. Right into the teeth of the defense, and they're still able to get a nice gain.
Wide receiver now comes in motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
The first thing you have to do to make these plays successful offensively is I have to block the edge. I got to get my speedster in space. They didn't do a good job of getting that guy out there in space where he could really use his jets. Nice job by the defense understanding it, seeing it, rallying to it, and tackling that guy for a loss.
Flushed out of the pocket. Fires downfield. Snags it. They will score! Touchdown Seminoles! They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row. They'll try to tack one more on their score. And now with the extra point, they're up by 18 here in the fourth. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And the score comes on a touchdown pass covering 28 yards. They're just about ready to kick it away. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Not a lot to feel great about in this one, Jesse, but I'm sure they'll try to seek out some positives.
Well, this might be an opportunity, too, Reese, to go back when they watch this game and just find the plays and the schemes that were working. There weren't a lot, obviously, David, but maybe an opportunity for the coaching staff to condense the playbook a little bit.
I was going to say, there's not a lot of good to go back to. That'd be a quick film session because there was more negatives than positives. But when you look at this week you've got a week to figure it out, figure out what your offense is going to be moving forward.
On second down, he'll fire. And he'll chuck it into the cheap seats there and save the down. Nobody getting open there.
It's a nice adjustment by the defense here. With a big lead in the game, you're putting extra DBs on the field, knowing the offense has to throw to get back in this one in the fourth quarter. So your best cover guys on the field, and they force an incompletion on the last one.
The throw. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down. No hesitation at all. The offense stays on the field. They'll go for it.
Well, this guy must feel like he's run into a buzzsaw in this game. He has been under duress all game long, and that's a big reason why he's thrown multiple interceptions.
And they get to him and sack the quarterback, and they'll stop the drive on downs.
And I get it. That's for pride's sake. This game's over. Like, I know you're down and you try to mount drives, and sometimes you even try to get young guys in the game at this point. But now you're just fighting for pride and just letting them try not to get any more points on the scoreboard.
He's looking to throw. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. He's looking to throw. Touchdown, no! And the pummeling has started. They've built a little cushion and now closer to getting a victory here in Week 4. These guys looking to put the finishing touches on this game with that score.
Yeah, I think you feel confident that ends it, right? Late in the game, it would take a miracle for the defense to get back in it. That miracle is no longer coming now.
And the extra point was good. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. This one has pretty much been a bludgeoning, but they'll try to finish with something positive late.
Well, they ran into a buzzsaw today, and I don't think it would matter what type of X's and O's they're out there executing, David. Jimmy's and the Joes, they're just not as good as the opponent.
And as an athlete, it sometimes hits you in the face and it stinks, but you're not good enough. And today they were not good enough. And I'm going to do the best I can to try to flush this down the toilet, not remember it, forget it, move on for the next game. Maybe it's something right here I can create positive that carries over to practice and maybe next week.
They immediately call timeout, trying to preserve every second they can to try to rally here late. Comes out throwing on first down. Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. And he was able to get back on top of his own fumble. The offense gets a quick timeout. At this point, every second is precious. The drive continues after that fumble scare sent the offensive coordinator's blood pressure into orbit. On second down, he'll let it fly.
The defense puts the exclamation point on the day. They have had a wonderful day, man, doing everything great. Just, you could tell they were dialed into what was going on, and now just throw another sack in the equation, hitting the quarterback, being disrupted. They've been all over the field.
And whatever they did on first and second down, don't do that anymore. Third and very long coming up. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. And the Nittany Lions will send out the punt unit. Fourth time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. So from his own end zone, the punt is away. Slips through the line. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. They're in command of this game. Now let's see if they try to rub a little salt in the wound or happy with getting the W.
Yeah, and listen, this makes the post-game handshake fun sometimes if you do choose to rub a little salt in it and keep chucking and keep scoring. I'm here for it, Jesse. Like, your job is to score points. It's my...
Another interception. That's his fourth of the day. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
Reese, I know you're a little bit of a front runner, so you probably wouldn't quit. You probably sub yourself out and take yourself out of the game. But I like that they're continuing to fight. Keep fighting. You never know what's going to happen. Actually, you know what? I know you're not going to win, but it doesn't matter. Keep fighting to the very end.
Offense set on first down. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. He's right on target. Delivers the contact. And the tackle is made, but not before that completion gets him 30-plus.
You know, as the head coach of this team, this is one positive you're going to take away from this game, is that your players don't quit and are still willing to fight. There's obviously a lot of things they've got to iron out offensively.
Deep shot for the end zone. Didn't have much of a choice there, but to get rid of it.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like, they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from. You try to...
A shot toward the end zone. And a little too much adrenaline on that throw never gave his receiver a chance. They had the big play to start the drive, but a couple of misfires now leaves us with 3rd and 10. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking for the end zone. And it's incomplete as he was trying to finish the drive with a score.
And this defense has put a game together. Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together, run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in, you could tell. They were ready, they were fast, they were physical. They dominated this football game.
A bold decision to go for it on 4th down, and one that did not pay off. After this, it'll be a wrap. Coming out on 1st down with the play fake. Going for the big play. Ball's incomplete, and that'll do it from here. This is what an elite team does. They know they're better. They go out, they take the figurative sledgehammer and hit them right between the eyes.
And they just look good in every phase of the game. If I'm on the coaching staff, I don't know what you could ask for your guys to do better. I think the challenge now for this team is going out next week and trying to play with the same type of intensity and the same level of execution.
Well, Jesse, it's easy to look good on the field when you look that good in your uni. Like when you look that good coming off the bus. Those dudes are good. This is a great team, and they proved it. Just domination from start to finish.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.